Russell, I think, got fired in December of '76. So on that recording and all the recordings that you find after that, instead of my
CW
playing
Post.
lap steel on the Entertainer, he had me strumming.
Wow. We were talking about, there's one song we love, the Weekend song. And
That
was from Street Life.
Street Life Serenade,
How
yeah.
does it go?
Come on, baby, take me away. We got some money to spend tonight. I don't want to hear. And the guitar work on that, I just loved.
That might
Was that you?
No.
That wasn't.
Not on the recording.
That's
No, not on the original recording, but at
on
post.
The CW, well, because we were
At
talking
the
about
live
we
version.
visited the post because of the 77
well,
concert.
then that's me.
Yeah, he likes that.
There was that rendition.
As long as it's before June 4th, because my
Yeah, this was May, so.
right.
That rendition of it.
I've never heard it.
You know what? I might have it on my phone.
Right.
Do you
Do
have it there? The CW Post? Here, play it.
No, not the CW.
The CW Post version. Let me see if I have it. Hold on. I'm just gonna.
The best recording of Billy that I ever heard, well, in terms of being able to hear me, because Brian always had me low, because I guess Billy told him, keep the guitars low. Billy was never a guitar band.
Yeah.
And until he got David Brown, then he wised up. David's one of my favorite electric guitar players. And it's very hard to find now, but I heard the recording that came off the board at the Sydney Opera House.
Okay.
I think that was September '76. And it's like, oh my God, there I am. I could actually hear what I was doing. So
I know that recording's out there. I'll have to listen to
it. You know what? I don't know if there was a cease and desist, but it's like, it just totally disappeared.
Huh?
Yeah.
I already purchased it.
That's a cool venue.
Real quick, it's Lake Ridge Winery in Lake County, Florida is the big one.
Lake Ridge. And where is Lake Ridge?
It's in Lake County, which is probably, it's a little bit north. I'll get the actual address from you. I think, because I get stuff from there all the time about come for this festival, come for that. And they also own San Sebastian in St. Augustine.
Okay.
San Sebastian.
That I think I saw. We just fell in love with St. Augustine, and we were saying.
You go often?
This is the second year that we went.
Okay.
We've never been there. Other than that, I'm not a big fan of Florida.
I'm getting that way myself. I'm from here, but we moved down 13 years ago, my wife and I.
I don't think I gotta find it. Right.
As long as you're not living over a sinkhole.
Which nowadays is pretty difficult to do.
The whole state's on a
There's 12
sinkhole.
holes in one community.
Oh,
It's
all the hurricanes
really
keep
bad.
coming through. Yeah. So June of '77 was
June 2nd, 3rd, and 4th with Carnegie Hall for 3 nights.
and that was your last.
As I walked out the backstage door, Phil Ramone was walking up the steps.
Okay.
I only recognized him retroactively.
Okay.
But that was it.
Okay.
And then maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks later, Billy called me and said, "I gotta let you go." I heard.
So he called you.
Oh yeah.
No,
No,
hearing from other people that.
I'm very special that way. In fact, I'm probably. But you know what? My guess is because his father's name was Howard. His favorite bass player was Howie Blofeld.
Okay. Yeah.
That has to, on a subliminal level, it had to have given me some sort of,
Here's the
Let's hear it.
Beacon song.
Is that YouTube you went to, or?
It's on my thing.
Oh,
on my phone. There we go.
What's the CW Post?
Yep, from May 77. May 77.
So if that was when you left, when did you come aboard with the team?
January of '76.
Okay. In Turnstiles, you guys recorded right after that, or?
Yeah.
Wait, that was. Hold on. Here
Yeah, there you go.
Did you hear that harmonic? I was such a big fan of Barry Bailey from the Atlanta Rhythm Section. I did 2 albums with a guy named Richie Supa. Richie Supa, he's actually co-written a few things with Steve, who's the guy from Aerosmith.
Tyler?
Yeah, Steven Tyler. But I did an album with Liberty. It's called Supa's Jamboree.
When was that?
That was 1971.
Okay. That was way back.
71, and then Liberty got into a really, really bad truck accident on the way home from, I think we were playing in Cleveland. And I had to go for a draft physical, so I took a plane home. And Liberty was driving in the van with the roadie, and they hit a patch of black ice, and the van went over. Both cheekbones, both jawbones shattered.
Geez.
And when I saw Lib at his house a couple of weeks later, he used to have hair down here. It was up to here.
Chopped
Because
it all off.
because his head
Rip?
got so swollen.
Oh,
It was
jeez.
scary.
So he's lucky too to
Oh.
have got through that.
You have no
You said
idea.
someone was, how was the roadie? Did they make it through?
Flip was built like the proverbial brick shithouse. He saw it coming, and he grabbed on,
Oh,
and he
jeez.
rolled with the van. And I think Lib was driving. So yes. But anyway, so I'm digressing here. So what?
The album, Liberty's album you were on.
Oh, on Richie Supa's album. Yeah, right. That's where we come home from. And so after that, it was just a trio. It was Richie Supa, John Hips, the piano player, and myself. And we
Okay.
did 2 albums at Studio One in Doraville, which is where the Atlanta Rhythm Section recorded all their albums. And Barry Bailey, their guitar player, was such a hero to me. Loved him. So as soon as I heard, I have to check that out.
Let's see. Let's.
I have to check that out.
Is that you on the guitar there? Yeah.
There's only one guitar.
That's what I thought. That was.
Holy shit. And we hardly played the song. This is one of those songs.
Yeah. Well, that's a big fan favorite, and just nobody ever plays it anymore.
It's just live. It's just very powerful.
Oh.
The studio cut was okay, but live is.
Yeah, this was recorded at CW Post. We were just going by there since he knew his way around campus. He took me in and showed me the auditorium this was recorded at.
Well, somewhat. They've changed it all around a lot. I would have given Mom the leg to be at that show. You remember that?
Yeah, I mean, I know it's me playing, but it's like kind of an out of body experience.
Oh, I
'cause
bet.
I did not heard it.
'Cause that would've been-
And that song is so. It's like we hardly did it. So, but evidently
It wasn't a big cut for him, but
Yeah, but
he
you know
didn't
what?
have
When you're
much.
playing live, whatever works. You know, and you can't. I don't think any audience will ever begrudge an artist who is, even if they're playing something that wasn't one of their hits, if the band's kicking ass, then
Yeah.
it works. That's all. There's no getting away from that. But yeah, I was a huge fan of Barry Bailey's, and in fact, I'm definitely going to look that up and use it. I'm going to share it, and I'll definitely mention Barry on Facebook. Yeah, I definitely had my electric guitar heroes back then.
That's cool. So the main thing I remember you from back then, other than the music, was there's a promo pic that they took at Caribou Station or Caribou Recording with you guys out on a fence, and it's just
that was Liberty's camera.
okay.
And Russell took the picture.
Okay, and yeah, you just had the big burly beard and sunglasses on.
Yep, it was before. It was many hairs ago. So I'm basically, I'm with you guys. Well,
Funny, a couple of us.
the trio.
I'm still holding on. Okay, so do you remember any stories from out there recording Turnstiles? Because I know that I know Billy had Elton's band record, or he didn't have the.
Well, he tried. In
Right.
other words,
He
I think
just
he was
got
the bass player and the drummer, and the chemistry for what Billy was doing, I guess, just wasn't there. I have a vague sense of maybe having heard one or two of the tracks,
Oh yeah.
but not to the point where I could give you any sort
Analyze it. Right. Oh, that's 40
Yeah.
years ago.
It was a long time ago. I mean, downstairs I have the reel-to-reel of New York State of Mind, which is drums, bass, piano, and vocal.
Yeah.
No strings, no sax, just nothing. So,
That was handed out to you and Richie and said, "Hey, go put something on here."
right. Doug and Lib brought me in first to do the guitar parts, and Doug pretty much told me what to do. And then when they asked me to join the band, I wouldn't join.
Yeah.
Like 3 nights in a row, I turned them down, and finally I said, "Fine, if you want, I'll join, but you have to take Russell too."
There you go.
Nice.
So because I know Doug was with Russell and Liberty in Topper right about at that same time.
Well, Russell and I had a duo.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it was Russell's music.
Right. But you were able to get him all aboard. That's cool. Gosh, so much went on back then.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, what's really struck me, and I heard about it like a week and a half ago, and I heard about it today, is Huey Lewis lost.
Yeah, he had to cancel his tour.
He's got something in his hearing. He can speak, he can talk on the phone and stuff, but music is all totally distorted.
He can't hear the monitor to stay in key with the music, and rather than
I don't know what I'd do. I'd do. I would. I'd probably take the gas pipe.
without your music, that's
Wow. Yeah,
an important part. Yeah.
I mean, I have tinnitus,
The
but
ringing.
there are and I always wore hearing protection, and there were times where it's just I'll wake up and it's gone.
Yeah.
It's like wow, and then I'll go, wow, maybe I lost my hearing entirely. It's like it was too good to be true. So
only when my wife is summoning me. I lose my hearing.
that's called selection.
Yes.
Well, that's cool. Let me show you that picture that I was
Sure.
originally going to mail you. And just over the last couple of years, I've been trying to get all the.
So who are you missing?
Pretty much just you.
So that means who was the guitar player that I replaced? The tall, skinny guy with the beard.
Oh,
In fact, I guess
Don
Don
Evans.
was his name.
Don Evans.
Right. They always used to tell me, don't you remember what Don? They'd always try to get me to play what Don.
Oh,
played.
his part they wouldn't let you.
I imagine after I got canned, that they probably were telling whoever, don't you remember what happened? It's a circle jerk.
Yeah. I met Don about 5 years ago now.
I never met him.
Oh, didn't you? They, him and Larry Russell and Reese, the drummer, got together and did a gig at the bitter end, and they got a couple singers to come in and do Billy's part, and they recreated the Sigma Sound show that
On MMR.
it was the bootleg or the show that was on Philadelphia radio where the Captain Jack live track came off that they kept playing over and over. It was their most requested song of all time, and that's what got the record company to get in contact with them. And we met them a few years.
You mean that's the recording that got him onto Columbia Records?
Yep, that live recording.
Which I've never heard.
Oh, yeah.
There's boots out there of that. Yeah, we can get you
It was
those.
just the people, the kids loved it, and they kept, because it was nothing like anything that had been out.
Ed
By the
Shockey,
way,
who was a DJ.
I've been writing my own stuff.
Yeah.
All
I have
good.
4 albums out.
I love
For a long
the
time, so I
ones.
mean, I hardly pay attention to this stuff.
Yeah.
Consider yourself really special. No, not you. You're just along for the ride.
Oh yeah, he brought me along, but trust me, it's worth every.
Oh, I do it for these
Minute.
guys. But
He
okay.
created the group, but this is. Well, I'm in an outer body experience right now, just hearing all
Yeah,
this.
that's what all we.
I have gotten so many friend requests over the years,
Yeah.
and early on, what would happen most of the time is that there would never be them posting something on a thread it would always be a private message. And invariably it would be asking me a question about Billy Joel.
Yeah. Oh,
And
gotta get old.
well, you know what? It's insulting because I have my own thing,
Yeah.
and they don't even make the effort
Right.
to acknowledge that. And it's like,
Can we hear some of it? Do you have anything we could hear?
oh, sure, but you want to hear one of my records, or you want to hear me play?
Let's hear you play.
Oh yeah, dude.
I can do that.
Dude, live if you're up for
In
it.
fact, I'll play you something that I haven't even recorded yet.
We told
I have to go get my stuff.
Mike Stutz.
So guys, I've posted the link to Howie's webpage. You go there and buy the man CDs. I just picked up his most recent one. It's genius. It's so fun to listen to. So go out there and help support Howie and his music, okay?
There, you got some more light.
Ah, beautiful. Oh, look at that guitar. That's.
I had this one made for me by David Flemang. You guys watch American Idol?
Sure.
There's a woman, what's her name?
Nice.
She plays a lot of guitar. Poppy. I can't remember her. Maddie Poppy is her name. And she's playing a guitar and it's got the same little F at the top, which is David Flemang. And David is from Greene, Iowa. But I met David when he used to be a builder in Connecticut. So this is, I don't even have, actually I do have a name for it. It's called Bats Bounce. I dedicated it to my son-in-law and daughter's French bulldog who just died recently. And so I mean, I'm still in the midst of finishing the arrangement. And playing fast is not my forte, but this one seems to fall into my wheelhouse. So I'll give you a little taste.
Nice.
Bats Bounce?
Bats Bounce. Yeah, his name was Batman.
Okay, and it was a bulldog?
He was a French bulldog, yes.
Wow, that's so neat. Thank you.
I'm sure that my daughter Nicole and Matt, her husband, will love to hear his name mentioned.
That's neat. Well,
Yes,
that's really good
thanks
too.
for giving that for us.
So let's see, what else?
That's so good. You can just tune in and stuff.
Any of you guys play?
I don't know. I tried learning once and just decided to stick to piano.
Play air guitar.
What's that?
I play air guitar. Too. Very
That's called
nice.
Crossing Crystal Lake.
I'm sorry, what was the name?
Crossing Crystal Lake.
Very nice. I like that one.
Thank you. Yeah, that's
gonna
actually
be my earworm for the night now.
good. You know what? I like when a good melody gets stuck in my ear.
You know what? It just put me like at a real even keel. I needed that today.
Doesn't make you feel like you're
Are
out
you
in the
trying to say
water.
you were falling asleep?
Not at all, sir. Not at all.
Who influences you? What guitars? And because that had a little JT in it, and
Well, first, yeah, is that one released on a CD?
That's the title track of my first CD, Crossing
Okay.
Crystal Lake.
but it was different. It was very.
And
It does, yeah. If that was in Minnesota, you'd hear a loon going singing in the background. It's like canoeing across the...
you're like
Glass
crossing like
lake.
on Golden Pond.
There you go.
I can buy that CD online, or
I have them here.
Wow.
There you go.
That's faster shipping than Amazon.
Right, yeah, look at
There
that.
you
What's
go.
the shipping charge there? That's but you know, that would be good because just going down the highway, if I could hear just, that would be like
Oh,
really, really peaceful.
I'm flattered that you enjoy it. And now here's something, and you know this song, but this is my arrangement, and this is on my third CD, The name of the CD is "It Ain't Necessarily So," the George Gershwin song. But this is. I do a few covers. And I try to make them fairly unique.
Yeah.
On my newest CD, there's Fever.
Yeah.
Do I do another cover on there? No, I think Fever is the only thing I cover on there.
Fever's an Aerosmith, but who did it before Aerosmith?
Fever?
Yeah.
That was originally Peggy Lee.
Yeah.
You know, it's.
And Garth Brooks covered it too.
Are we talking about the same song?
Wait, maybe I'm thinking of something else.
Let's see. I mean, maybe they did Fever, but I don't think I've ever heard. The original version of Fever was Little Willie John, and then Peggy Lee did it with just upright bass, traps, and voice, and it was a monster hit. But
that guitar is... Can you tell us something about that guitar? That's an amazing looking guitar.
This is a National Res Electric. And right now, all I have is the magnetic pickup on, but I also have a microphone built into it, which makes it sound more like... So that sound, that unique voice that resonator guitars have, and they were basically invented in the 1920s by the Dopiero brothers. But anyway, yeah, so there was the National Company, which is this, and then the Dobro Company. And it was an attempt to make a louder guitar by using an aluminum dome. This is a dome where, and the one that all the country players play has like an 8-legged spider on top of an aluminum dish. And they have a lot more sustain. These have a lot more punch. But this is basically like an electric guitar version. But what I did was I did all the modifications, and I actually built, I've got a little XLR, mini XLR here, that runs the condenser microphone so that I can get the actual acoustic tone of it and blend it with the electric tone. But for the time being, this will do.
Nice.
Awesome.
That's an abbreviated version. But and as you notice, I play a lot of slide. I guess I've been playing slide since actually I played slide on the second album that I did with Supa. That would have been the Homespun album. And then I taught myself how to play dobro at the same time, so. This is something that'll probably go on the next recording.
Does it have a name yet or no? Does it have a name yet?
No, not this. Coming up with the names is the hardest part. You know, it's like, it's an instrumental, so
Okay, yeah.
what am I going to call it?
Trying to figure out the feeling.
Right.
The Stutz Sonata.
What's that?
The Stutz
My
Sonata.
last name is Stutz.
I gotta make it a little louder. Hope you don't mind.
Oh, go for it.
That's a joke.
Do the neighbors ever complain?
No, I have a feeling they probably stop what they're doing and probably.
Yeah, no doubt.
Nice.
And I'll probably have percussion on it and stuff.
It's got a little rockabilly sound into it a little
You know
bit.
what? I can't play with a flat pick at all. And play rockabilly, well, unless you're Brian Setzer, who's like, he's one of the best.
Yes.
Do you
I'm
go
a big
out
fan
and
of him.
play live gigs in the area here?
Hardly.
Because I know the one I remember is Andy Gilmartin posted a video of you, and I thought maybe it was here. Maybe I didn't look at the background, but this would have been a couple of years ago.
Yes, I remember the night. That's how infrequently.
Don't blend all together.
Yeah, no,
Well,
I'm actually getting a little better at not being so nervous when I perform live, but
Oh, well then thank you. I didn't mean to put you through all of that.
no.
Okay.
This,
A little different?
well, first of all, I mean, my favorite situation to play in is house concerts.
Yeah.
Because I
really
get
like
to
those
have
too.
More personal.
Wine and cheese and snacks
Yeah.
with them prior to getting up. Then I'm loaded and I get
There you
up there. I can say whatever I want.
Hey, you're always welcome to come over to my house. We could throw a concert.
You know,
Yeah.
it's a wonderful thing. It really helps put me at ease. But for a while I was. Are you from Long Island?
New Jersey.
KJ Farrell's.
Mm-hmm.
For a while, my friend Sean Baker was getting me to go down there, and the house band was letting me open up for them, like doing 20 minutes by myself, which was really nice. But any of the videos that you go to see on YouTube of them, all you hear is the people talking.
Yeah.
In the background, yeah.
You know? Although one night I played Can't Help Falling in Love. In fact, I played it on that.
Everybody hushed up.
After the release, after that part, when I came into the last verse, all of a sudden it was like, shh, and
Awesome.
you could hear a pin drop, and I couldn't believe it, you know. And I would use them ignoring me as a way not to be nervous. It's like, well,
if I
nobody
screw up, they
listening.
won't hear it. You know?
Exactly. So
And like in a traditional concert where you come in and sit in the seats, you feel like they're sitting down going, okay, entertain me. You know?
well, but now the good thing about playing with Billy is that I could smoke a joint before I went on. They're not here to see me. I don't need to see past the neck of my guitar.
Yeah.
You know. But you know, my countenance on stage was always basically, I was, you know, very quiet. I was never, I never emoted much. That's just the way I am.
Well, that's fine. Well, I really appreciate you taking so much time.
Oh, my pleasure.
Well,
My pleasure. I'm
This
I'm
is-
flattered that you thought of me.
What years were you actually with Billy?
1976, January
Yeah,
76
it was about 5
to
months.
June
was
4th,
all.
1977.
Oh,
And
to
then-
77, okay.
Right, okay, do you have something?
Yeah, I brought a marker here. There's a couple blank spaces. If you cross over, that's
No.
fine. You just, a lefty. There you go.
Where's,
Right.
where's me?
My kids
Oh,
are
there's no
lefties.
picture.
You know what? I don't think there are, because these are this group I'm in. It's called Completely Retold, and I've found, you know, locations where they took album covers. And
Is
so,
that actually the?
yeah, Andy took me out.
I remember we. This is after I was with Billy. We went to this house because I think Topper was playing. In fact, well, I guess you want to see me signing this.
No. Go ahead and tell us. Sorry.
Well, I can't. You're asking me to multitask. I'm left-handed to begin with, so.
So
Yeah.
whatever works out. Okay.
You ready? There you go.
Wonderful. Thank you.
My pleasure. But anyway, so Topper was playing at Seaford High School.
So this would have been early 70s, mid 70s.
No, this is like 78.
Oh, okay.
This is 78.
So they, even after they joined Billy, they kept doing their Topper.
Well,
Or just the three of them playing those
no,
songs?
no, it wasn't three of them. You know what? I mean, I definitely didn't play with it, but I went to the gig.
Okay.
And Dean Krause was on piano, or you know what? It might not have been. It might not have been all Topper stuff. It might have been what they call themselves. Wow, I'm totally flanging on this.
Okay.
And maybe I don't think David Brown was in the band at that point either.
Okay.
But anyway, so afterwards we all went up to Billy's house, and I remember there was a plaque at the front of the driveway that said, Mr. Tibbs.
Okay.
Which, over here?
The Glass House's house.
Oh, okay.
At least, I think.
All right.
You know, it's like, I can't remember what I had for lunch this afternoon. But there's a lot, and the reason that I can't remember is because of all these things like Mr. Tibbs, you know, still stuck in my hard
Taking up all
drive.
your
So
memory banks.
there's no room for any new information. But yeah, I can remember sitting at the kitchen table, and I was sitting with Russell's mother.
Okay.
And at that point, I had already been fired, but at a certain point in time, I don't know who they went on the road with, but Doug and Lib called me. They were on extension phones. I guess it was September of '77. And it said, Howie, you got to come back. I said, no, I don't. And that was basically it. It was about a 5-minute conversation.
Yeah.
But they were like, they were desperate.
Oh.
Who knows? Life is so hard.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah. So I was sitting with Russell's mother, and I remember her saying something, basically like in my defense. Not, I didn't need to.
Oh, yeah.
I was out of the band because I wanted to be out of the band. The only way you collect unemployment is by getting fired.
Nice.
And trust me on that. If Jeff Schock were here, God bless him,
Great man.
he would tell you the story.
Oh, gosh.
But anyway, I remember Billy saying to Jerry Javers, well, we tried to get him back in, but he wouldn't do it. So,
Shouldn't have let him go in the first place.
but it was, I wanted
Yeah,
it.
he's
Oh,
he
okay.
wanted out. That's why.
I couldn't do it anymore.
Okay.
I wasn't emotionally and mentally prepared for dealing with all the politics
Yeah,
and the
bet.
backstabbing and just it was not fun.
Do what's good for you.
The business side of the
Well,
music industry.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not James, but I definitely
Pursued an education.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, you know what? Hey, Billy's a great songwriter. There's no doubt about it. And after having read, well, I forget what the name of the book is. Here we go. Fred Schrewer.
Oh,
Yeah, I have
the new one, yeah.
Fred sent me a copy.
Oh, nice.
Because I walked into a local hardware store where I used to work, and some guy started asking me questions about, did you ever play with Joni Mitchell? And going, why would you ask me that?
Well, had you?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'd met her.
Oh, okay.
The guy who I used to play with, Eric Anderson, took me to her house. And in the west entrance of Bel Air, it was one of those moments. Why I didn't have a camera with me is, but that's another story. So he showed me the book, and I started seeing these things that were written about me, and I went onto Amazon where people were reviewing, and I made a comment that I can't really comment on the book. I said, but blah blah blah. Don't you know? About a week later, I got an email from Fred wanting to interview me on the phone.
Okay.
And he
Because
asked
he hadn't before when he was putting this together.
whatever information he had gotten. He had never spoken to me. Now I don't know where he got some of the information from, but I mean he offered to edit it out. I said, don't worry about it.
Oh, for like a second edition.
Yeah,
Stuff like that.
But we spoke for about an hour on the phone. It was very, very nice.
Well,
I read that.
But reading this book, I really came to appreciate how Billy generally reacted to the swirl of shit going around in that he was the center of. And nobody can really fathom what it's like.
Oh, I'm sure.
No one can fathom what it's like. And all things considered, he really did very well. I mean, the fact that he's still alive, absolutely, it's very impressive. So I had a lot more respect for him after reading it. It's like, now I understand.
Yeah.
Prior to that, it was just me as a young
One-sided
kid.
story, right?
Well, it was my side as a young guitar player, being in a band, But there was definitely a mutual respect. I remember one night, we used to do this really fast song, and I just couldn't do the flat picking solo to it very well, so I passed off the solo to Richie. I said, do another, play another.
Yeah.
And Billy dressed me down after the show. I said, you don't tell me what to play if I can't play it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to embarrass myself.
No.
And I think the fact that, I just told him where it was at,
Yeah.
And of course, he told me where it was at. At least it was real.
Yeah.
There was no, yeah, you know, and then fuck you. It was, you said what you had to say for real,
Yeah.
and that was it. And I think when you are in a position like Billy or any other megastar, the amount of people whose mouth is attached to your ass I can't fathom it. I can't fathom it. So God bless him for being able to have dealt with this as well as he's done.
Through it. Yeah. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's the perfect way to say it.
Did you ever get to meet Jeff Schock?
You know what? I did a couple times. He was about this much taller than me.
He's the sweetest guy in the
Gentlest.
world.
Oh, he met a bunch of our friends over the years, and then just like 2 months before he passed away, they did a concert in Minneapolis, and I was sitting up near the front. And before the show, I looked up, and he had come out on stage and was taking candids for the website. And he and I had chatted on the computer, and I just yelled out, "Jeff!" He looks over, and I go, "Ah!" And he goes, and gives me a big thumbs up. Next day, it was on the web page. So,
Well, Jeff got my CD last summer, and I couldn't believe it when he sent me an email. He loved it.
yeah.
He says, it's the perfect antidote. Evidently, there was a lot of crap going on at the time. I think Hired Gun was coming out.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of bad stuff going on, and he didn't say anything about it, but
Right.
he alluded to just all the chaos.
Yeah.
I think someplace I still have the email, but he said it was the perfect antidote. He just loved it. So I was thrilled.
Oh, good.
And he was actually gonna put it up on his website, and one thing led to another, and then. But God bless him. He was a good guy. He was a really good guy, and it's funny. He told me at one point that he was afraid of me. He was afraid of me. and I shouldn't be surprised. I know people were afraid of my mother, and I guess I had her company.
Uh-oh.
So, but whatever.
Well, the fact that we're going to be leaving here not afraid of you is a testament to.
This was really cool.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
I'm-
man.
really
I'm-
value.
Thank you for having us.
I'm
Really
very flattered that you've thought to
Reached out
come
to
by, and now you have almost a complete collection.
Yeah.